Ismael, good to see you. Thanks so much for your time, man.
No, thanks for having me, man. Excited to chat.
I'm excited to chat. It's interesting, right? Because like I'm a filmmaker, so these are the things I think of as well. But that script to screen journey is so interesting because you get, the
Hmm.
script for the bluff and the scale is massive, the action, all the cinematography of this was insane. Like I love just looking at this thing. But what's that like for you, kind of, dissecting the script, kind of going over, having those conversations, but then you get there, right? And that's when it really gets real and everything. What is that like for you? That script to screen journey, scale wise?
Man, I think we all have a different approach to these things and the way that you envision it in your mind when you're reading it, you know? And it's quite impossible to know how it's gonna look. It's quite impossible to know what the sets are gonna be, if there's gonna be a lot of CGI, if they're gonna be practical. And so for me, I had to focus on just the character's journey,
Yeah.
the motivation, like my part of the world, and not think about anything else. Because then you start getting freaking out
Yeah.
about like the possibility of it being like monumental and whatnot. But also, truth, I'm at another Prime show
Yeah.
that is just like the scale is
Dude, I
ginormous.
was
So,
it's
so
funny,
I'm
that's where
like,
I was going. I was like, Rings of Power will prep you for anything, I feel like at this point.
I just, there we go. So it's like that's the thing. Like after you do that behemoth of a show, a lot of things feel very small,
Yeah.
and truly not in terms of scale. They're just like that show it sits on its own kind of realm.
Yeah.
But this one, when I came, or rather, when I read the script, I could feel the energy of it, the beauty of it. But also, the first interaction that I had was with Frankie when we had our meeting.
Yeah.
And are you a director?
I I I I'm going to direct. I'm a writer and producer mainly right now, but I'm currently going to direct. Yeah.
Claim it.
Yes.
So, so you are a director. Um, and like it's so important to have the clarity that you're going to be in good hands, that you're going to be appreciated as an artist, and that you're going to be able to collaborate and say your piece. Because at the end of the day, with humility, we prepare to be as much of an expert in your little sliver of your field, you
Yeah.
know? So I felt it's very clear to me. Frankie was very, very clear that he wanted to bring me in for what he knew that I could offer. So I got the sense of I got this, all that I needed to know, I got. The rest I didn't even think about. So
Yeah.
when I got there, I mean, those sets, most of it is practical and
Yeah.
most of it is on location. So it was very exciting, because when you watch like the Goonies when you're growing up,
Yeah.
like that kind of thing, that those cave scenes, that it felt like that magic
Yeah.
being there and then seeing it. I'm sure like like all the booby traps and all that stuff. And that's something that you don't see that much now. Like it's a lot of CGI. And for us, we had a lot of practical stuff to work with, which I think translated into like that exciting like adventure and on when you're having the movie watching experience.
I just loved how this movie was filmed. If I'm going to be honest with you, like the cinemat. Can we just give
Tell
a
me about
shout
it.
out to the cinematographers? Like, it's an honor and privilege, honestly, to work in an environment now where these DPs, the directors of photography, are just hitting it out of the park, and the possibilities are endless, right? Like that's really special, right? To look at that side of things.
Absolutely, man. And I love that part of it all. Like I direct myself
Yeah,
and I produce and I write. And so I've been doing this since I'm 15 years old.
yeah.
So has been more than half of my life.
Mhm.
And I appreciate every part of it. And we also had one of the most gentle and sweet and forthcoming and warm DPs.
Yeah.
It was just the most wonderful experience, and I always establish that direct relationship with DP because they're the ones that are capturing the thing. So I want to know how they're operating and what they're seeing, and put myself also in their hands.
You
So it
re-
was
yeah. when you get there
Go for it.
too, you see it too, right? Like when you get there, you see what they're doing. Like it's great to see. Like I have a like my short horror film Adjoining did a cool festival run. We premiered at Screenfest Chinese Theater, TCL Chinese Theater. It's on YouTube now, and it's doing really well. But like the one thing everyone keeps talking about, like, there's a lot to love about it. It's very crazy and everything, but like our cinematographer, just like when 20 people say, wow, this is shot so well, you know what I mean? Like that's the DP. You know what I mean? Like that's
I
everyone
love
was
that,
saying that
man.
about that. Yeah.
I love that. The thing is that this is a team effort, and
Yeah.
when you have a good director as well, who often, and a good producing team,
Yeah.
but the director who often chooses this team and delegates,
Yeah.
and puts their trust in that team, you see the results. And Frankie's just a freaking awesome director
Absolutely.
in that sense, man. And we everybody had their heart there, and you see it, and it's like vast and big, and but at the same time it feels very intimate. So which I
Yes.
love, because I love how it's very smart, it's very clever, because you have like this vast things, but then you have these scenes where there's like a two-shotter of my profile and then her head on, like fully compressed right here, and like we're filling the frame. It's so freaking intimate before exploding again into this vast setting. So I'm there with you.
Absolutely. I wanted to kind of ask because, you're going to bring kind of mindsets and preparations to projects, project to project, because it's Ismael Cruz Cordova going to each project, right? So you're going to take your experiences to each, but you look at Rings of Power, you look at this, like different worlds, different characters, but it is all storytelling. How separate are past things you've done compared to something like The Bluff? Like, do you bring mindsets or preparations from past journeys, past sets to something like this, or are they completely separate once you wrap them?
Uh, let me think about the word in English. It, I can't find it, but like it's undeniably, I
Yeah.
cannot say that all my characters don't inform each other,
Yeah.
undeniably. But I try to approach everything in the smallest way possible.
Yeah.
Like I just think about the motivation and what they want and what this is, you
Hmm.
know. But I also think a lot about how they move
Yeah.
and what they do, and that allows me to differentiate my characters quite well. And
Yeah.
it's a technique that I studied, and it's a technique that serves me like as a past athlete, swimmer, dancer, and all these things. Like it allows me to embody, and that gives me that separation. But for example, I'm very happy to get to portray something in contrast to Arondir, you know, in rings,
Absolutely.
because she's stoic and serious and not smiley at all, and my body, I can't slouch or anything, because he's always like upright. So then when I get this other character, perhaps I'm not playing, like, you don't see him, but you're seeing the contrast. I'm pushing from that character to create this one, very smiley,
Yeah.
much softer. My body's in a different way. I move in a different way. I love in it from a different uh, place. So yeah, I mean, you bring everything. You steal from people too. Like it's like
Yeah. Absolutely. And I can't wait for people to see The Bluff on Prime Video. I had so much fun. Again, I loved how it looks. That's all I think about these days. So like I think about that. But I wanted to ask before we wrap Rings of Power. I just want to say, because it depends on the person and the storyteller. But you have an incredible rich, amount of past source material when you sign on to the Rings of Power to go back and look at. And I feel like that's just could be terrifying and overwhelming for a lot of people because the scale is massive. Do you like participate in that original source material a lot? Do you go back and read the books, watch the movies and everything, or do you kind of try to put them away a little bit and focus on the fact that you're doing, the Prime Video series Rings of Power? You're not doing like you're gonna pay homage and tribute. Like, what's that like? Did it feel like a tug of war a little bit with like the source material and kind of leaving it alone a bit?
no.
Okay.
I mean, I'm gonna be very honest. Like, and again, I say this with humility, but I'm not scared of any set or any story, like,
Yeah.
or any character. I'm not scared at all. Like, it's my joy and it's my calling and it's my skill. And it's absolutely my pleasure to do what I do for over
Absolutely.
20 years. So I approach it in that way. Do I get anxious? Absolutely, dude.
Yeah.
Like first day of school, like I never sleep more than 2 hours.
No.
Never.
Never.
Never. Like it doesn't matter. Like it doesn't matter if I'm doing a student film or if I'm about to work with Priyanka Chopra herself.
Yeah.
So but as I said before, I think my approach is like I have to look at my character and what they do. In Rings, I don't even think of him as an elf.
Yeah.
You know, it's just this guy. Like T.H. Bodden is this guy. This guy that misses like his wife and it's trying to do what is best for his family. So you can't play the world of it. I researched deeply. I was a very, very big fan of Rings and all of that. And I did all my stuff. But at the end of the day, that's that. And then I'm like, who do I love? Who do I need to protect? What do I feel? And that's as far as I want to go, because then you start playing scale and that's impossible. That's not playable. And that's not my responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
That's not my responsibility either. You're talking about the DP. The DP has a responsibility. The director has a responsibility. My responsibility is for the truth and the honesty, and to have my back and forth and my support with my co-star Priyanka Chopra Jonas, who is the most incredible lead, and I'm super grateful to have been, you know, in the Bluff with her, playing.
Yeah, and you are such a good storyteller, Ismael. I just want to say that. It was an honor and privilege to speak with you. I can't wait for people to see the Bluff on Prime Video. Thank you so much for your time. Really, really appreciate it.
Thank you, man, and good luck in your endeavors.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.